What a unique case Mario Party is. I don't think there's a single other Nintendo franchise that has warped, changed, and evolved over the years into something that, while boasting the same mechanics, is completely foreign to anyone who played only the original few games. Later entries also have the unfortunate problem of dealing with the fact that those are the entries that general consensus agrees are the best around, making any new entries or further changes to the formula instinctively feel like a step away from what we want. But trust me when I say that there's no reason to feel that way about Mario Party 10. It seems like the team behind this game really took the feedback from 9 to heart, and in turn made a lot of changes that may not seem immediately apparent when you're just looking at the game, but make a world of difference when you actually play. Let's establish something right off the bat. When you buy a Mario Party game, you're essentially signing a pact with the developers, one promising that you won't lose your mind when you're one turn from winning and somebody steals all your stars, because that's just how the games work. That random element is what makes them such good party games, what makes them so fun to begin with. However, the key is that situations like that are the exception, not the rule. This is both why 9 failed and why 10 is so good. 9 tipped the balance way too far in the direction of chance, creating far too many situations where you'd pull ahead of the pack only to immediately be brought down by circumstances outside your control. And don't get me wrong, in 10, terrible things will still happen to the person in first place, but not only did they drastically reduce the chance of it happening, but they also addressed another concern and made minigames feel a lot more common this time around. This means that the player who shows the most skill at those will have an enormous advantage over their competitors, as it should be. I've been winning consistently against the computer anyway, and if you're worried about the quality of the minigames, don't be. Out of the 70 plus available, I can only think of 1 or 2 that I don't look forward to playing. That's a pretty good ratio if you ask me. And that brings us to the modes that Mario Party 10 offers, of which there are 3. Mario Party, Amiibo Party, and Bowser Party. Mario Party mode retains the car mechanic from 9, where the entire group moves together and takes turns being the captain of the ship. You're also still collecting mini stars instead of the coins and normal stars like the earlier games, which I've actually warmed up to since 9. Eliminating that extra variable actually makes the experience feel more focused, in my opinion, and makes the conditions for victory a lot more clear-cut. The boards offered to you this time also provide some really creative events and mechanics to enjoy along the way. Dueling with Bowser's airships, snagging some treasure from a dragon eel, and forcing a boo onto your rivals that will whittle away at their winnings are just some of the highlights. And yes, the awesome boss minigames are also back. But if you absolutely can't stand the car, Mario Party 10 still has you covered. This is where Amiibo Party comes into play. This mode allows you to use your Amiibo as pieces in what is, aesthetically at least, a board game version of Mario Party. And yes, it brings back the old school mechanics of having to collect coins and trade them in for stars. These boards are deceptively simple. They're not much to look at, admittedly. No matter which character theme you go with, the warp and event spaces are always in the same spots. The endgame rush doesn't change, and the goal is exactly the same. However, I've still had times where I actually preferred a round of Amiibo Party to the main game, because this is exactly what I always wanted, an accelerated version of the old playstyle. Not simplified, mind you, just sped up considerably to cut out the extraneous nonsense. It's just you, some minigames, a couple chance events to liven up your laps around the board, and the luck of the die. And that's what Mario Party has always been about. It's pure mechanics and pure fun, and I love every single inch of it. I don't even mind that you need Amiibo to play it either. Hell, I got a free Mario with my copy of the game, and considering the craze that's evolved around trying to get the rarer characters, the question has become not why you would want an Amiibo, but why you don't already own one. If games like this are any indication, owning even one of these things is going to enhance just about every Nintendo game you buy from this point on. So not only will dropping the extra $10 on the bigger version unlock what is sure to be the best part for a wide group of people, but you can also look at it like an investment for any other games you'll own in the future. Just be warned, if you do have save data from Super Smash Bros. On there, you will have to rewrite it to use your Amiibo in this game. Just a heads up. But believe it or not, Amiibo Party is not my favorite part of this game. For you see, ND Cube answered 2 fan requests with this title. Not only does it bring back the old formula in what I think is the best way possible, but in Mario Party 10, you can finally play as Bowser. Bowser Party pits one player holding the gamepad against up to 4 people playing as the group in the car. Now the goal has changed. It's no longer about competing against each other to see who can be the superstar, but collectively trying to outrun Bowser and survive the torturous minigames that start every time he catches up to you. It is disturbingly fun, just murdering the entire Mario cast in increasingly violent ways. To roll 4, 5, even 6 die at once and stomp around the land as this massive vehicle of destruction. It's also a great way to get new players into Mario Party, making them feel powerful and awesome, like they stand a chance against somebody who knows the game way better than they do. And it's totally balanced, too. A bad Bowser will suffer just as much as bad players, no matter what fate the dice hand you. Think about this. This is a mode that makes the car actually make sense, unlike the reasons I hated it in the normal party mode, which were, Actually, that's a good question. Why did I hate the car? Because it made my own personal efforts feel less impactful? Well, because of the balancing I mentioned earlier, that's now a moot point. Now it's just a matter of different strokes for different folks, and now that the game offers you the power to play however you want, there's really nothing to complain about. Mario Party 10 is an absolute blast, and it's the most fun I've had with the series in years. The balance is a lot better, the mini-games are great and more plentiful than ever before. It has playstyles for both old and new school players, plus a brand new game mode that's amazing in its own right. Add a bunch of fun extras to that mix that'll appeal to even the niche groups within the fanbase, and you've got a package that could not be more complete. Mario Party 10 was totally worth the money. So grab your friends and tell them this party has only just begun.